We'll be starting shortly. Let me just grab my notes. Sorry, y'all, I had to grab my notes. I've been working on a couple of stories. Right? Let me turn this music off. Right. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and hold on, y'all. Y'all know I got to make things right. I can't. This chair is not working for me. This chair is not working for me. Chair's not working for me. I got to bounce. All right. Sorry, y'all. I got to make sure things are right in the studio. I can't do this if it's not right. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the chat, be sure to drop your crowns and your elephants and let me know where you're watching from. I'm actually working on another story, so more than likely I will be going live right after this one. So I will drop the call-in link for you guys to call in and share your thoughts on this new Charisse Jackson Jordan interview. It was actually quite revealing in a variety of ways, not just about the other housewives, but in a variety of ways. And I want to cover all the other areas that she touched on in this interview. You know, they're doing this series, Life After Bravo, and she was a part of it this week, and she revealed a lot of stuff about her own life, about her time on the show. I thought it was quite interesting. I thought it was good. Originally, she didn't even want to be on the show. That's what she says. Now, according to rumors, she is dying to be on the show. Guys, I have to make sure I'm drinking some tea with honey because brother's been working overtime. There's so many stories that I need to talk about. One that's related to the housewives. We're going to get to it. I'll be live again. I'm gonna get straight to the point, y'all. If you haven't liked the video already, if you're not subscribed, like the video, subscribe, trust and believe it will be worth it. Okay? So, Charisse, if you don't know who I'm talking about, because some people were in the chat were like, who? Y'all are so shady. Oh, wait, maybe I'm shady for this picture. Never mind. Charisse, you remember Charisse from the Real Housewives of Potomac? I know some of you say, who cares? No, I care. I like what she had to say in this interview. She did a new interview for Life After Bravo. So she dropped some tea in it. Some tea. I mean, some stuff we kind of knew already. But she talked about her current status, her current relationship with Karen Huger, what she thinks about the direction RHOP has gone in. She talks about how her husband at the time did not want her to do the show because he says, if you do, we probably will get divorced. And she took that as a sign to go on the show and that the marriage was over. That part didn't make sense to me. Because the way I took it was if you go on the show, it's going to ruin our marriage. And you took that as a sign to be like, so I should do it. I didn't realize how long they were together. They were together 27 years, 20 years married. Her kids are doing very well. I'm starting out with the good stuff, y'all, to give people an opportunity to get into the chat. I'm starting off with the good stuff. Her kids are doing very well. Her daughter's at Spelman. Her son is in graduate school. I love hearing that. She says they are doing well. She still has not spoken to her husband in years. Well, the kids are grown at this point, but still, you shared almost 3 decades with someone and you guys can't even speak? That's sad to me. As you know, on the show, Charisse really was the socialite, at least according to what they made it seem like. She was the one, according to her, that gathered all the women. She says her intention was not to be on the show. She was helping cast the women. She brought people like Gizelle and Robin. She reveals that Gizelle and Robin, they were friendly. She introduced them, but they weren't as close as they are today. She said being on the show and the whole Green Eye Bandit thing, really brought them together as besties. But she says before the show, they weren't that close. They were friendly. She introduced them. I was like, all right. So that friendship that we think that's been long and strong really isn't. Really isn't. But Charisse is still in a good place with both Robin and Gizelle. She said her and Robin have been friends for like near 20 years. Near 20 years. Shout out to our new members. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you'd like to become a member of the channel, teamkempire.com. Or if you're watching from your computer, click the join button. Thank you so much to Ruchi for the super chat. Love you, Kempire. Keep going. I truly enjoy each and every one of your videos. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, y'all know what I got to do. Shimmy. This is not a Kempire original yet. We will be having our own merch, but this is not a Kempire original yet. This is Banana Republic, I believe. Yeah. But I saw it and I said, oh, that's meant for me. Sorry, I need to sip on tea because the throat. Okay, so here's some more details from this interview. So I'm starting out with the light stuff. I'm starting out with the light stuff right now. Okay, so Charisse is giving us a life update on her children, her ex-husband. You know, she talks about how, you know, she really tried to mask the relationship on the show, but she's now, when she looks back on it, she's grateful for the show because it opened her up to realizing that at the time she thinks that she was depressed. She also realizes that the relationship wasn't going anywhere. She says if she didn't come on the show, she probably would still be married to Mr. Jordan. Who knows? I'm just covering some of the highlights. But she's disappointed in where the show has gone. She also talks about her friendship with Monique, and I know it should be no surprise that her friendship with Monique is not. It's non-existent. It's non-existent. It's so funny because as I was preparing for the show, Karen Yuka dropped by Monique's YouTube channel to do an interview. It was a very uplifting interview. They didn't really dig deep into the drama of the friendships or what's going on, but they're still in a good place. And they also revealed, I'm just giving you a little tidbit of what I saw there. She also revealed that Monique says, you know, she was always invited to a lot of the different things that were happening in Karen's life that was being filmed. And even another housewife, I'm assuming Ashley, that there were opportunities that we could have gotten with Monique this season, but Monique was dead set on, I'm not going to be on that show anymore. That low check. It was a very for those of you that were there, it was a very uplifting interview. It wasn't trashing anyone, but it was giving us some revealing information, even some Mia shade. I saw that, Karen, my fellow Taurus sister. Let me just say thank you. Hold on. Thank you so much, Navistat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Shimmy. Let me not spill my tea. Okay. I'm turning into Mia before your eyes. I'm shimmying for dollars. No shame, though. No shame. Just saying. Let me take a lozenge, y'all. For those of you that are not subscribed, you should subscribe to the channel because we have some more information coming up after this live. Okay? So make sure that you subscribe. Exactly, Allie. Love us. Love us for real. But in this interview, Charisse, getting back to why you're here, Charisse talks about Monique Samuels and calls her a dishonest person. Let me play this for you. I'm just going to play you a couple of clips. I'm not going to play you a lot because I don't need them trying to take me down. All right, let me just play you a quick thing.
Monique, she's fun.
Okay,
she likes to have a good time.
Hold on.
Watch Real Housewives of Potomac?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, I feel like the show has changed a lot since the first season.
A lot. I wish it could have stayed a little more classy. I have to be very honest. It's disappointing to me as a Black woman to watch some of the things that do transpire. Obviously, that crazy thing with Candace and Monique, that was just gut-wrenching for me.
Not only am I embarrassed, I'm ashamed of myself for my actions, for even letting anybody get under my skin to the point where I would react that way.
I'm very supportive of the show because my friends are on it, and I still consider it my baby because I worked very hard to, get that ball rolling. But I still watch.
Speaking of Monique, you two were very close.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for inviting us. Thanks for coming.
Monique.
When did your relationship with Monique start to sour?
Let's see. Season 3. Monique is a unique individual. She's a control freak. She likes to manipulate situations. She didn't want me and Robin and Gizelle to be friends. Constantly reminded me of what Gizelle did season 1.
They're going to do what they've been doing. He's going to be with his girlfriends and she's going to be with her boyfriend, the fireman.
Which is like, because they didn't care for her. She didn't want me to like them. And I've known these women, like Robin. I've known Robin for like 19 years now. This is a real friendship, and she couldn't understand that. So that was part of it, because she somehow internalized it as loyalty. Like I'm not being loyal to her because they don't like her.
The Monique I've grown to know was totally 100% committed to you as a friend. Very loyal. Very good.
She's talking about me on live. She's going to people that I've introduced her to outside of the show, telling them things that totally was not true. I didn't think it was going to get to the level that it has gotten to.
What rumors was she spreading?
I am not talking about Charisse. I'm done talking about that.
She thought as a dishonest. I just found her as a dishonest person. She thought I was coming back to expose the stuff with her and the trainer and all that stuff. She wasn't even a thought. How could I come back to talk about something that I don't even know anything about? And I ended up looking like the bad guy because it looks like that I, said things about her and her family when I absolutely haven't said anything about them.
Yeah.
So it looks as if, in this interview, as I said to you before, Charisse did an interview for Life After Bravo talking about her experience on the show. And she talks about Monique, and she talks about how Monique, a lot of people talk about how Gizelle never liked Monique. Well, it seems as if the feelings were mutual. Monique never liked Gizelle. And look, some people you just don't like. It is what it is. But according to Charisse, Monique allegedly made it very difficult to maintain a friendship with all of them because she didn't want Charisse to be friends with Gizelle and Robin. Probably more specifically, Gizelle. But they're like a package deal, St. J says Monique couldn't understand it because when you add women on the dynamic, on the dynamic changes. Okay. Asia says, I will never forget the crab boil at Charisse's house. I have to rewatch some of Potomac just to kind of remind me of some of the early years because when I was watching, nobody else was watching. It's a grower, not a shower. Guys, if you just joined us, we're talking about the new interview that Charisse Jenkins? Who's Charisse Jenkins? Charisse Jackson Jordan. And what she revealed in that. So she also talks about Karen and her relationship with Karen. But backtracking to what she said about Monique, she calls Monique a dishonest person. She also says what went down between Monique and Candace. For her, she doesn't like to see that on television. She feels that that's, for lack of a better word, I'm going to add this lowbrow for the show that she helped start. Okay. She also talks about her relationship with Karen Huger. As I said to you before, Karen Huger was just on Monique's channel earlier this evening talking about her business. They talked a little bit about housewives and, their friendship and whatnot. Not a lot of tea was spilled, but it was good. It was a healthy conversation, women supporting women. Okay. So let's take a listen to what she says in regards to Karen Huger. Because when the interview asked her, who do you feel has changed the most?
This is how crazy I was about Housewives.
Hold on.
When I
Tell us about who Charisse was before Real Housewives of Potomac.
before Housewives of Potomac, Charisse was doing a lot of stuff here in Potomac, very involved in the community. I used to teach. I used to sell pharmaceuticals, and I had children. When I was not working, I felt like a whole part of me was missing, actually. And so that's how I actually involved myself so much into the community. For a time, I was president of the NBA Wives Association, and we're raising like millions of dollars for charities. So I kind of always worked. I just worked for free.
How familiar were you personally with Real Housewives before
Oh my
Potomac?
gosh. I love Housewives. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I watched Jersey like crazy. I mean, I was addicted to Jersey. Beverly Hills was my other favorite. Of course, I watched Atlanta. This is how crazy I was about Housewives. When I lived in New Jersey, in one of these gift shops, I bought this wine glass. I still have it actually. And it says Housewives of Montgomery County. So for me, it was like deja vu. It's like I predicted this, or I manifested this.
What was it like for you when the show started airing and you went from being a fan of the Housewives to a housewife yourself?
It was unreal. It was very surreal, actually. To this day, honestly, people say to me, Charisse, you're kind of like a celebrity. You know that, right? And that doesn't even register with me. It's like I'm still the same person. So like when the show was airing, I remember the call when they were saying, okay, it's going to air on XYZ date. It still was like, really? And so when the show was on, it was weird. It was just really weird for me.
You say you haven't changed, but do you think any of the other ladies have?
For me, the most visible would be Karen. She started to believe, the grand dame.
The grand dame type. I want you to know I'm keeping it because it irritates the hell out of you.
To call Karen a grand dame, it was like not a dame thing because
Oh my Lord.
Was this thing in her head. And like before, like no one knew Karen Huger. I mean, nobody. I was the person that's doing all these events. Karen never did anything. Like she belonged to her little social organization and they have fundraisers like what, $10,000 or something like that. I raised millions.
You mentioned you were a fan of the Housewives before. Did you ever connect with any of the ladies?
I'll stop there. She does talk about her friendship with Nene Leakes and a few other housewives, but none of you care about that. You only care about the tea. Okay. So as you saw, she says, and look, if you've been a fan of Potomac, then you realize that Karen Huger has evolved over the years. In the beginning, I don't think a lot of people loved Karen, but Karen played the game well. And I think that's why Karen is still on the show. She played the game well. People have fallen in love with her. And I think that's part of the reason why Karen is still on the show. Okay. Someone says, thank you for stopping her. Come on now. I thought it was worth having a conversation about because I wouldn't mind seeing Charisse come back because I think it would shake up the dynamic in the group in some ways. Because you remember, although she is still friends with Gizelle, and she does reveal that in the interviews, that she's hanging out with her, I think, next week. Their friendship has had some ups and downs on the show. So I trust and believe, I believe they would sacrifice their friendship for the show. One of the other things that she talks about, if you've been watching Potomac, then you know about Blue Eyes, you know about the firefighter. That was Gizelle who put that out there on Watch What Happens Live about Charisse dating a firefighter. She addresses that in the interview. She says in the interview that even if she was dating a firefighter, her relationship was already broken up, so it didn't matter. However, she did at the time send a cease and desist to Gizelle. She did. But when she threw out the whole Mr. Blue Eyes about Karen, she says all of Potomac knew about that. And a lot of you said that. A lot of you back then, even now, say there was a Mr. Blue Eyes. And that's why I love Karen. Don't get me wrong. I love Karen. She's my Taurus sister. But I'm a straight shooter. Pow, pow, pow. Wait, I need gunshots up in here. Wait. I need to get some gunshots up in here when I say that. Because I didn't love Karen in the beginning because I saw through the fakery. But which was interesting with her conversation with Monique earlier today, I think Karen understood that she had to give a little bit more in regards to her story, be a little bit more authentic in regards to her story. I know it's not 100%, y'all. Look, I'm not a fool. Okay? I'm not a fool. But I think she's also leaned into what being a housewife really is on this platform. I think what happened was a lot of people did not relate to Charisse because she also talks about how people viewed her on the show as sort of this elitist. But if you watch this interview, it's kind of like you kind of get the same vibes. Some people just don't connect with other people because they give off a certain aura, even though that might not be who they are. And Charisse did give off that aura, but I thought that's what made Charisse a great Real Housewife. You need that. You need that element in the show. But apparently the producers did not. And, you know, a lot of people said that the reason why Charisse did not return was because she was shielding so much of what was going on in her marriage. But she did end up revealing a little bit more towards the end. Maybe it was just a little too late. Who knows? But as I said to you multiple times, I liked Monique at that binder moment. Throughout the seasons, I didn't love Monique. I didn't love some of the things that she said or did on the show. I was just like, eh. Like she didn't give us iconic moments until the end. Until the end. But what I did like about Monique was the fact that she was an actual housewife who had the lifestyle, who had the husband and the family. I enjoyed those sides of Monique. So I was okay with her. Because I also felt like Monique, not that she was giving us truly her authentic self, because I do feel like there was a level of guarding that she had on the show. But again, we watch these shows for Real Housewives, not single ladies like Gizelle. I was reminded while watching this, remember that scene when they were all sharing some emotional moment, and then you saw in part one of this last reunion, where Gizelle talked about how she keeps this wall up, how it's very military style in order to protect herself. Remember in that moment a few seasons ago, and everyone sharing some really deep, story, emotional story. She talked about how she took some sort of pill for diarrhea and it affected her the next day. Always Gizelle not giving us her authentic self. And here's the thing. There are women on these shows that give you their authentic selves and they're still there. And then there are those that orchestrate because they have great personalities, are funny, and that's how they survive on the show. We don't watch Gizelle because we're going to get some emotional storyline. We watch Gizelle because every once in a while she makes us laugh. We watch Gizelle because she's messy. But she's been messy since the beginning, because even in the Charisse interview, we're reminded of all the messiness that she brings up when it comes to other people's lives and families. Because even Charisse, she did the same thing too. She was the one bringing up Mr. Jordan not being at home and that they're having marriage problems. It was Gizelle. She's always messing with people's marriages. Always messing with people's marriages. Okay. Christina Bird says, and the fashions are bad, so we can get a laugh. That too, and I think she leans into that. I think she. And look, only Jayla. I'm so tired of you in your mouth, girl. It's a free country. You can go somewhere else. Bye. And there's no need to block her. You can leave. Wes says, Charisse has been bitter now for many years. And who knows why? Charisse also reveals that she's doing comedy now, that she wants to study for her real estate license. I'll give you the full update. I watched all of it, so I'm going to tell you everything. No word on whether or not. We already know Charisse wants to come back to the show. Charisse wants to come back to the show. I mean, look, I don't care. Look, trolls, moderators, you know, you don't have to delete. I don't care if people agree with me or not. Look, I don't care if people agree with me or not. You don't have to agree with me. You don't. Wait, I missed the super chat. I apologize. Danielle, thank you so much. Shimmy. Girl, if you want to come back, just say that. You've been trying to get screen time since last season. I hope give you a comeback. Wait, I don't know what you meant by the last part, but I understand what you're trying to say here. She does want to be on the show. And look, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if she's starting a comedy career. I want to see it. She seems like she's doing well. Navistat, thank you so much for the super chat. Shimmy. Gizelle's authentic self is lies. She can't help herself, bless her. And look, that's the thing. We don't watch Gizelle for her authentic self, apparently, because we still want her on the show. But she doesn't really give us a lot when it comes to storyline. And even her trying to give us a storyline that was fake and phony, it's like, no, girl. She is mean and boring. Thank you so much. Exactly. Keep doing you, Kempire. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. And that's all these folks on these shows can do. We still watch. The only person we're saying that shouldn't come back now is Ascala. And I heard the Ascala drama with Mia. I don't care about Ascala. I'm sorry, Ascala. I tried to care, but I don't care at this point. I don't care. And since, you know, we love to say that we are the curators of pop culture, since we don't care, that's all we're going to say on it. I see a lot of people backstage. I want to take their calls because I have to go live with another story shortly after this. Callers, be straight, direct, to the point, and we will wrap it up that way. Guys, if you just joined us, we are... Tom K says, you can go, Scott. We need to do T-shirts. We need to do T-shirts and just leave a blank. Leave a blank. And then maybe like a little Sharpie area that you can erase for whoever it is. It could be for a Robin. It could be a Scala. I even said that Robin could come back as a friend of only, though. A Scala, great fashions. That's it. That's it. So coming at Mia a little too late. Mia gave us a whole lot. Some of it was lies. Some of it was funny. Some of it was her truth. Just saying. Hey Zeus, thank you so much for the super chat. I didn't need to take a deep breath. I needed to breathe for a second. She already made a joke about being a comedian. Come on now. Come on. All right, let me get to these callers because I am going to go live again shortly after this live. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We have so much more hot topics to talk about, including Travis Scott. I gave you an update earlier today. There's more information. I won't be getting to that information until tomorrow because I just feel like more information will be coming out again tomorrow, and I need to rest my voice. So I do have some more stories that I need to get into. So let me just take these calls. Callers, you're getting a minute. That's it. Where's my timer? And I hate to be that way. It's just I'm restricted with time. Okay. All right. Danielle's backstage, and no, Danielle was just the first one to click the link. Danielle.
Okay. So I said earlier, Charisse is giving me Nene vibes because she's like going on this tour. Well, it's not a tour, but she's doing interviews. And it's like, we know she wants to come back. She needs something to do. She needs a job. But here's what I don't like. Okay, so wait. What I do agree with Charisse, the Housewives Potomac, from what she knows, has changed. When she started, it was what we knew housewives to be. A bunch of women we didn't know who were living this luxury housewife, stay-at-home type mom life. Now it's a lot of bickering, a lot of fighting, a lot of pushing, tossing the salads and all this other stuff. And again, when they first started, they were more friends than what we have now. We now have women who are being plugged into empty spaces who don't know each other. So we were talking about this earlier, not you and I, but like St. J and Twan and I, when you plug people in who don't know each other, the reads don't read as reads, they read as digs because you're now trying to hurt someone's feelings because that's not truly your friend. So it's just a different vibe. And as far as Charisse talking about her and Eddie, No, Charisse, Eddie left when he went to go coach for Philadelphia back in 2007. So he's been gone out the house for a while. And then he took a next job at Rutgers, his alma mater. So they had been already in, and she stayed in Potomac. And I get that. She stayed in Potomac because the kids were in school. No need to uproot them out of school, even though they were going to these great $40,000 a year schools. No need to uproot them and try to start them all over because they're kids. They don't like, you don't mess with the kids. You leave the kids alone. But let's be truthful. Eddie was already gone. Eddie was gone in 2007 when he left the Wizards. He was here coaching the Wizards. That's how she got to host Robin's baby shower because Juan was playing for the Wizards at the time. So that's where that whole friendship came from. But Eddie left in 2007 when he went to go coach Philadelphia. What are they? What are the Pistons? No. The basketball team. I can't even think of Philadelphia, but yes. And then he kept going and stayed gone because he went to Rutgers to coach Rutgers, where he still is. And from my understanding, he had a whole nother life with a whole nother woman up there anyway. And there are more kids because those kids are younger than the kids he got now, the kids that he had by Charisse. So that's how you know it's not what she's talking about.
Okay. Well, she sort of alludes to all of that in this interview. She does talk about how their relationship was pretty much over when she started the show. So. Right,
but then he said that if she did the show, it was already done.
That didn't make any sense. But look, this is Charisse. She's giving us housewives answers. Danielle, let me get to these other calls. I appreciate you calling in. What? All right, Curvy Jersey, I'm going to bring you up.
Hey, Kempire, how you doing? I'm good. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is well and safe and loved. Okay, so real quickly, let's shake it up. Let's shake it up. I'm sorry, let's shake it up. The reason I say that is because I feel that if Sheree can come back, if Heather on OC can come back, why not Charisse? I would like Potomac. I was on it from the beginning, and I want them to be around for 10 years plus. The way the current dynamic is going, it's not going to work to get to 10 years. And I think by bringing Charisse back to spice it up, I think it's a good idea. Is she trying to get back on? Yes. And I applaud her. Just like how we try to find a job, we go out and put our resumes out there. We start, creating a buzz like others do. I don't blame Charisse for going on a tour. I don't at all. But I will say that currently, your points earlier, Kempire, is the truth. Gizelle does not have a storyline. She likes to attack other people's marriages. Karen, she's doing well with her marriage with Ray, but after a while, we're going to get tired about hearing about the Black Bill Gates. Then you have Ashley, who, she's married, yes, and she's doing her thing. She's having her children, and she's living her life, but there's no other things going on. I have to give it to Candace because she's doing things. Yes, she's married, but she's working on her MBA. She's produced our first album. So she's really doing great. And of course, Dr. Wendy is new and Mia's new. So I think with Charisse coming back will be a great idea. I just want to go on record to say that I was Team Charisse from the beginning, or Team Cha-Cha, because in order for Potomac to reach that 10-year mark and to keep us watching, they need to switch it up a little bit.
Okay. As always, Curvy Jersey, we appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Too. Bye. All right. Hold on. Let me reset the clock. Guys, you're just joining us. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We're talking about a new interview that Charisse Jordan, or Jackson Jordan, there we go, that was a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and some of her thoughts on the show, the past, and all these kinds of different things. Roxy B. Styling, I'm bringing you up. What's going on?
Hey, Kempire. It's actually Erica. How are you?
I know. I knew the picture, but I said Roxy B. Styling. I was like, all right, I'll go by that.
Yeah, I have two YouTube pages or whatever. But I want to respectfully disagree with the last caller. I just don't think Charisse has nothing to give. I do appreciate her for bringing the women together, and like she said, she wanted to be more behind the scenes, and I kind of know why. I see why. She was good for that champagne room. I loved it. It was all the goals. she didn't seem authentic to me.
Yeah.
To be honest, she was just stale, and her voice was monotone. She didn't seem like she brought anything great to the show. She didn't seem fun or funny. Like she wasn't classic. I'm just not sure what she gave. So yeah, she can just, stay where she is. I don't like the boob job. It makes her look bigger. I'm sorry. You
Really from here.
Yeah, because she said that was what she did during the pandemic. And I'm like, why? You didn't need the boob job. It makes her look bigger. But that's all I got. I recommend you go back and watch the last, past seasons, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm watching season 2, just to kind of get familiarized and remember how everything got started. So yeah, definitely look back. And I'm going to look back at season 3, because her fallout with Monique, I believe, was because Monique stole her contacts to like
allegedly
get for charity events. Right, allegedly. So, and then, we know the rumor stuff. So I don't know. But Charisse, you stay where you are. It's fine. Do your comedy thing. I ain't buying no tickets, but do you, boo? She ain't funny. I'm just saying. Come on.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Erica, for calling in.
Bye. No problem.
Oh my goodness. But you know what? It's funny though. When the situation with Monique happened in that 3rd season and with Charisse, I kind of looked at Monique, and maybe because, we were just getting to know Monique, I kind of looked at Monique with the side eye, because I did think at the time that Monique was a social climber based on what we were seeing on the show. And I never forgot that. All right, Tatiana, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Tatiana?
Hi, how are you, Kempire?
How are you?
I'm good. I actually was going to say kind of what you just said about Monique being a social climber. The thing about like Potomac, which I think is like really good about their cast, is that like Karen, Rob, and Gizelle, they have known each other for years. And so that just brings an element to the show. Like, you can tell they have history, they know different things about each other. So when they say digs about each other, it's like, ooh, that kind of is like, it lands different, because it's like, oh, that probably might be true. Like, she's known this woman forever, right? And I think Charisse had a point when she said Monique just couldn't understand that, like, I've known these women for like years, like, and our relationship is different. Like, yes, this show is happening and they might have said some things, but we have a rapport that you and I just don't have yet. And I think Monique is one of those people who's like, when you with me to the death. It's this ride or die type of thing. It's this like, you gotta cut people off. Yeah, it's like, I just met you, girl. And I understand it's about the quality of the friendship, not sometimes of the length, but still, like 19 years, 5 months. No. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Charisse could come back to me, I would watch. So
okay, all right. So yeah. I'm loving this conversation, because I feel like it's mixed. I feel like there's some people that don't want Charisse to come back, and then there are some that like, no, I'm open to her coming back, because she does actually have authentic friendships with most of the ladies that are on the show.
Yeah, exactly. They real friends,
And that's what we find, well, we used to find in New York, which was magic.
Right. But now it's tragic. So.
No. Thank you for calling in, Tatiana.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye. All right, and we're gonna wrap this up at St. J, because I said to you before, I'm going to go live probably in another 45 minutes with another story. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. If you haven't liked this video already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Let me just say thank you to Danielle for this super chat. Thank you so much, Danielle, for the super chat. Let me stop this. Danielle says Monique stole Charisse's Potomac contact, just like Wendy stole Karen's charity contact. It's what social climbers do. Oh, so she's calling Monique and Karen social climber. Oh, wait, and Wendy social climbers. Damn. She chose violence this evening. All right. Let's wrap this up with St. J. St. J, you changed up the picture. I mean, I didn't even know that was you backstage.
Boom, best for last.
Say
Okay,
Jay,
so
well, we have to preface this by saying there are close relationships with your family and the ladies.
I'm about to come in here and ride for Charisse like y'all have never seen. All right, so Charisse and my mom are close friends. I think Charisse is great for the show. Yeah, my mom is friends with Gizelle because my mom met Gizelle through Charisse.
Everyone met everyone through Charisse.
So, boom. Charisse is great for the show. You have to think that the Karen versus Gizelle dynamic at some point is going to get too stale. You have to throw, that picture, Kempire.
What? I'm just giving y'all what she gave during the interview.
I'm in the gym in the quietest room trying to hide, and you had me about to bust out laughing with that picture because that's a horrible picture of such a beautiful woman. Charisse is great for the show. She has the dynamics with the ladies. She has the genuine connections to women in Potomac. And I think that that's the other thing that we're missing in the show. Charisse knows a lot of people, so therefore bringing Charisse back, Charisse can bring in a lot of people. Also, Charisse has the dynamics with the existing cast, so you're getting, I've known Robin individually for 17 years. I've known Karen for X amount of years. I've known Gizelle for X amount of years. That way you can refresh those dynamics and it switches up because Charisse is friends with Gizelle, but she'll disagree with Gizelle. Her and Gizelle will have a thing. She'll send Gizelle cease and desist. She's not on the best terms with Karen. We could follow how that changes.
Yeah.
If it changes or if it just gets nasty. I think that Charisse has a lot to offer. I thought she had a lot to offer last season. You could tell that they were cutting her out last season, though. So I don't really know if coming back's in the cards for her, but I would love to see her back.
How does your mother feel about her coming back on the show? And why isn't your mother on the show?
I think that that's a great question. Oh, that was my other point. Boom. Thank you, Kempire. Everyone that they've casted everyone that they've been casting, Ashley and Down, they're all younger. So I think the age dynamic is changing.
Okay, you think that the producers are trying to get younger viewers?
It looks like they're trending down. If you have Ashley in her early 30s, Candace same, Monique same, Wendy close in age to them. Ascala looks like she's
probably
could have been in kindergarten together. So I don't know. So I'm like, it seems like they're skewing down.
Yeah.
But I think that with the older women, we were getting so much. And I think that that's something that we shouldn't lose by just adding people in that want to make good TV. Because like I was telling Danielle and Twan, the reads read differently if they don't know each other already.
That's true. You bring up valid points. St. J, anything else before I let you go?
No, that's it. Thanks for having me.
Bye. I love he just pops in. Mickey, there we go. Thank you so much for the super chat. One last shimmy. I loved Robin at first. She was the most relatable. She needs to let her story come through and realize she's more than Jizzy's sidekick and protector. I agree with this super chat. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. But I used to like Robin too. I don't know what happened to Robin. And since we're talking about Robin, y'all know what I got to bring up. Look, since I'm talking about Robin, y'all know what Robin, what happened to you? We were all rooting for you. What happened? Don't just look at me like that. Come on. What happened? Answer me. I know TikTok, y'all think I'm crazy, but if you were on YouTube, you would see why. Oh, Robin. But look, I'm still giving Robin grace because I said, you know what? Robin can come back next season, but she comes back as a friend of. Let her come back as a friend of. That's it, though. And if she doesn't bring it as a friend of next season, it's time for Robin to go. It's time for Robin to go. Okay. Thank you, Mickey, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Queen, thank you so much. Oh, Robin. Oh, Robin, look, I know Robin probably thinks we hate you. We don't. Because like Mickey said, I liked Robin in the beginning. Somewhere along the lines, the translation just got all fuzzy. Shantae, thank you so much for the super chat. Monique tried, but didn't. Charisse wasn't happy about it. But remember Monique's live podcast disaster? Oh, yeah. Look, Monique is no longer on the show. She's trying to do other things. According to the live that she just did with Karen, she says there were plenty of opportunities for her to film with the ladies this season. And we already know production was open to bringing Monique back. She was the one that decided not to come back this season. Okay. According to this live that Monique just did with Karen Huger, she said she had plenty of opportunities to film with her and another housewife. I'm assuming that's Ashley. I'm sure it wasn't Gizelle. I'm sure it wasn't Wendy. And I'm sure it wasn't Candace. So I'm sure it was Ashley because they're still very good friends. And she chose not to film. And again, that's one of the things I had to respect about Monique. She gave us a fire, reunion last season. And the way that she has been handling at least not returning, because I feel like so many other people would, any opportunity. Look at Charisse, any other opportunity to be on the show. And she's not taking that opportunity. She was even asked to do the Ultimate Girls Trip, and she turned that down. I gotta respect it. Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. Robin was my favorite in the beginning, but damn, how did she end up as in Gizzard's glutes? Queen, you're always coming through with a funny super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you to my mods for being a part of the conversation. For the replay crew, I want to know your thoughts on Charisse's interview, and would you like her to return? And what do you want the cast to look like for next season? The season is over. We still have 3 more parts to the reunion. As you know, we're covering all of it. I also collab with Layla Lynn and Grace Report. We circulate on each other's channel. I think this week we are on Grace's channel. But if you're subscribed to all, you're not going to miss out. And if you're subscribed to my Texan community, then you're definitely not going to miss out. So subscribe today, TheKempire.com. Stay tuned. I'm going to be live again a little bit later on. We have another story to cover. And you do not want to miss this story. Okay? Thank you to my mods. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Thank you to everyone watching on multiple platforms. I appreciate you all being here. Have a great rest of your evening. I will be back after I get my notes together. Guys. Thank you for being here.